All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into, well, maybe one of the biggest questions you can possibly ask. Is the reality you see all around you actually real? Or is it just some kind of illusion hiding something way, way deeper? I mean, think about it. The world feels real, right? It's solid, it unfolds in space, time marches forward. But what if all of that, what if space-time itself isn't fundamental at all? What if it's more like a user interface on your computer? You see icons and folders, but underneath, it's all just ones and zeros. Well, some of the most advanced physics today is suggesting exactly that. So why are physicists even asking these wild questions? Well, it all comes down to this massive, unavoidable crack in the foundation of physics. See, we have two theories that are just unbelievably good at what they do. On one hand, you've got general relativity. That's for the big stuff, the cosmos, and it describes space-time as this smooth, flowing fabric. On the other hand, you've got quantum mechanics for the tiny, tiny world of atoms. And it says reality is, well, it's greeny, it's pixelated, and it's all based on probability. And here's the problem. These two descriptions absolutely hate each other. They're totally incompatible. When you try to make them work together, the math just falls apart. It's a huge mess. And trying to fix this, which is pretty much the biggest problem in physics today, has forced scientists to do something radical. Question the one thing we thought was a given, that space-time is the basic stage where everything happens. Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers. The first idea really attacks that whole smooth picture of space-time. It basically asks, hey, what if you could zoom in, like way, way in, and find that reality isn't a continuous sheet at all? What if it's made of tiny individual pixels? And that, right there, is the heart of something called causal set theory. It says space-time is fundamentally discrete. You know how a picture on your screen is just a bunch of pixels? This theory says the universe is like that, built from these indivisible atoms of space-time. There's a smallest possible chunk of space, a smallest possible tick of time, and that's it. You can't get any smaller. It's the ultimate resolution of reality. So if that's true, what's really real at the bottom? According to this theory, it's not distance, it's not space as we know it. The only thing that's truly fundamental is causality, the relationship between cause and effect. Event X can influence event Y, or it can't. That's the whole game. And somehow, just from that simple web of what causes what, the entire rich geometry of our universe just emerges. It's a really powerful idea, summed up perfectly here. All you need to build a universe, to create geometry itself, is the order of events and the number of those little space-time atoms. That's it. Order plus number equals geometry. Kind of beautiful, right? Okay. A pixelated universe is already pretty wild, but what if we go even deeper? What if those pixels themselves aren't the bedrock of reality? What if the whole thing, our entire universe, is just a projection? This is where we get to the holographic principle. And this idea, it came from studying the bizarre physics of black holes. It suggests that everything you see, all the information that makes up our 3D world, could actually be stored or encoded on distant 2D surface. You know, like how a 3D hologram is projected from a 2D film. Our universe could be just that, a giant cosmic hologram. Now, the best working model of this uses this fantastic analogy of a soup can. So picture our universe with all its weirdness and gravity and string theory as the soup inside the can. That's the 3D bulk. What scientists discovered is that the physics of the soup is mathematically the exact same as a much simpler quantum theory that lives on the 2D label of the can. And get this, the theory on the label has no gravity at all. It's incredible. It shows how gravity and a whole dimension can just emerge from a simpler, flatter reality. So if our universe is a hologram, what are the threads that hold the projection together? Well, the top contender is something truly weird from quantum mechanics: entanglement. You've probably heard of it, that spooky action at a distance. It's this invisible link between two particles. Once they're entangled, their fates are tied together, instantly, no matter how far apart they are. And many physicists now believe that space-time itself is literally woven from these quantum connections. A vast web of entangled qubits, quantum bits of information, gives rise to the space we live in. So space isn't just an empty box that things happen in. Space is the network of entanglement. The more things are entangled, the more space there is between them. It's not just a stage, it's the play itself, written in the language of quantum information. All right, so we've already thrown out the idea that spacetime is smooth, and we've questioned whether it's even fundamental. But hold on, because now we're going to take the most radical step yet. What if? What if time doesn't even exist? This is the big idea from physicist Julian Barber. We all feel time like a river, right? It's just flowing from past to future. Well, Barber says, nope, there is no river. He argues that the only thing that's real are individual frozen moments. He calls them nows. Think of them like snapshots in a cosmic photo album. Each now is a complete, static arrangement of the entire universe. And he gives this collection of all possible snapshots a name, Platonia. It's this immense, timeless landscape that contains every possible configuration the universe could ever have. The key here is that nothing moves through Platonia. Platonia just is. Every possible now exists there, all at once, forever. Okay, so the big question is, if that's true, why does it feel like time is passing? Why do I remember what I had for breakfast? Barber's answer is that each individual now contains records or memories of other nows. So your brain, in this exact static moment, isn't actually accessing a past that flowed into this present. No, your brain structure right now contains information that you interpret as a memory. It's a record, a time capsule, within a single snapshot that creates this incredibly powerful illusion of a past. Okay, wow. So we have just completely taken apart our everyday picture of reality in 3 pretty different ways. Let's take a breath and try to put the pieces back together to see what this new, radical view of the universe is really telling us. So what is the foundation of everything? We've looked at 3 wild possibilities. Is it a discrete web of causal links, where the only rule is cause and effect? Is it a holographic projection, an image woven from the threads of quantum entanglement? Or is it a vast, timeless album of static nows, where every possible moment just is? Now, as different as those ideas sound, they all share one incredible, revolutionary takeaway. The world we see, the space-time we experience, is not the bottom layer. It's not fundamental. It's an emergent property. It's that user interface we talked about, hiding a much deeper, much stranger reality that we can't directly see. And that, of course, leaves us with the biggest question of all. If our world is just a pattern that emerges, what is it emerging from? What is that fundamental layer? To borrow a phrase from physicist Sean Carroll, what is the something deeply hidden that's giving rise to everything we know? Well, that's the grand mystery, and that's what physicists are working on right now.